Hello! Today I have my 2017 Gibson Les Paul Traditional, and I am trying to remedy a little problem. The last time I played it live, when I switched to the bridge pickup, it completely dropped out. And it took me maybe 5-6 seconds to get it to come back on, just playing with the switch. And so I'm going to try to fix that today. Let's see if I can get it to drop out. It's a little bit scratchy. Today it's not going to drop out. But I have played around with it some more after I played it live, and it was still doing the same thing. So I'm just going to go ahead and clean the switch in here. And I'm going to be using the Deoxit, the green bottle, the F5 one. I did a little bit of research on this, and most people that I saw that looked like they understood what was going on and they knew what they were talking about said, don't get the normal one because it's harsher. Get the one that's made for faders. Get the F5. And so it comes in this green top bottle here. And so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray a little bit of this on the switch inside, work it a little bit. It won't take much. Just work it a little bit and just see if it cleared up and see if I have any more problems with it. But it's a good way to clean it, it's a good way to lube it, and it's a good way to prevent further problems in the near future. So what I'm doing, I'm taking the switch cavity plate off here, off the back of the Les Paul. These are always fun to get off. All right, so we take a little bit of this Deoxit, and I'm just going to spray into the switch cavity here, just on the switch itself. And it doesn't take much, so it's gonna a little bit's gonna come out of the other side. That's why you don't want to just flood it. Just work it back and forth in there. And I just have just a little bit of like Kleenex just to dry off the edges there. This stuff evaporates pretty well, so don't worry about, just want to wipe off the excess so you don't have stuff flooding everywhere. Now I can already see on the table that there is some that dripped. So I'm going to wipe around. We'll flip this over here. We'll wipe around this switch and then work it back and forth some. All right, flip it back over. Carefully set it on the table. And we'll take this cover plate, put it back into place. One thing I always try to do is when I take screws out of a guitar, whether it's a plate like this or just anywhere else, I want to try to use the same screw in the same place that it came out. And then I want to back it up just a little bit to get it started and then go in. I don't want to make new grooves. I don't want to just completely chew that up in there. And you don't want to over tighten these because this is plastic and plastic breaks if you put too much pressure on it. I'll show you, and this is not something that I did, this is something that came from the factory like it, from Gibson. But I'll show you what happens when you over tighten the screws. And like I said, this shouldn't have happened at the factory, but it did. I'll just show you real quick. I don't know if you can see it, but two of those corners right there are cracked because the screws are too tight in the holes there. I just left it as it is, and maybe one day when the plastic all falls apart, I will replace it with a metal jack plate. But until then, I'm not worried about it. All right, I'm gonna plug it back in and do a little test. Did y'all hear that? So when I switched it, it actually dropped in volume. And when I touched the volume pot, the knob for the pot there, it crackled. All right, so you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go ahead while I have it out. I'm going to clean or spray those pots as well. This is not something you want to do like all the time, very often, because sooner or later you'll have to replace those pots because it's just the nature of Deoxit. Even though I have the green bottle, green label, you still don't want to just overdo it all the time, only when necessary. I might as well do this while I'm at it, just for some preventative maintenance. All right, I don't know if you can see this, but I put the screws in the order that I took them off the plate. So I'll make sure I put them back in the same place. Here we go. So the scratchiness I had was with the treble pickup volume pot, but I'm just going to go ahead and spray a little bit, not much, a little bit on this side, just to get everything going good there. And as I said, this stuff evaporates really quick, so don't worry about, you know, your finish or any of that stuff. It's not going to hurt it. Maybe if you just left it pulled up and it just stayed there way too long. Switch is working as it should. Let's touch the pots here, see what happens. There's no scratchiness in there. I'm on the treble pickup now on the volume control, and that scratchiness is gone, just like that. Let's try the bass pickup. Just gonna work this back and forth a little bit. Everything seems good in working order. You hear that little click? That's just us switching to the next pickup. It's not actually a scratch there. All right. I'm going to unplug this, flip it back over carefully. I'm going to reattach the jack plate. And don't worry about putting it the wrong way, because as you can see, it's only made to fit like so. So we'll put these screws back on, back it up, and drive it in. Not too tight. Back it up and drive it in. You just want it snug. You don't want it loose, of course. You don't want it rattling, but you don't want a vice grip tightness on it. Just enough. And that's how I fix the switch problem with my pickup dropping out on my Les Paul. All it takes is just a little bit of Deoxit, and we are good to go. I'll be playing this guitar again live next week, and I'm looking forward to it. Glad it's in good shape again. Take care until the next time.